So what happens when you get yourself one of those flipper Zero Wi-Fi Dev Board cards, and you're thinking, oh, maybe it's a good day to go outside, and maybe not. Let's just bring it back inside, and I think I want to make a cover for it because it's exposed. As you can see, it's pretty exposed, so I don't want to get damaged. So I was thinking to myself, let's make a cover out of PLA. So I started drawing some stuff here, got my tools, and we're going to design a cover here. So in this video, I'm going to go over how I did that. And yeah, a few hours later, I have several different designs here. Most of them failed, some of them came close, but let me take you through some steps. But first, maybe I'll need a little bit of coffee, because coffee always helps. So, all right, had my coffee, let's get it going. So the first thing I did is I obviously fired up freecad, and in freecad I went through several different steps of creating this Wi-Fi board, and if I get enough likes here for this video, I'm going to post exactly the step-by-step video. Create all the cutouts for all the parts that need to stick out of the Wi-Fi board into that Flipper Zero. As you can see, it's a work in progress. As you saw, I had many different variations of this at various stages. So prototyping is essential when you're making these Wi-Fi cards. They're precise boards with precise measurements, so you have to be careful. So I started printing a few of these. One of the interesting things you find about printing at home is that some of the material, especially PLA, will shrink a little bit when you print it out. So whatever measurements you initially thought were going to be correct, the material will shrink. And also when you're designing in CAD, sometimes when you make a minor adjustment on one part of the model, you can see definitely that there are changes in another part of the model, especially with freecad. It has a tendency to skew some of the designs. So yeah, so I printed one example here and I tested it out and see if it fits. It doesn't. So now this particular one here that I've printed off, that I'm actually sending off to my bamboo slicer here, this one actually worked. And as you can see, it's a two-piece already, the top and the bottom. And the way I created this is I created this to make sure that it snaps in. So there was no screws, there was no hot inserts that some people use. I just want to make sure that this thing can fit perfectly, snap in, and stay locked in place. And as you can see, the layers are pretty full here, so this is a pretty solid model. Being that it's only 1.5 millimeters thick, it's a pretty thick, at the same time pretty thin model. There's enough flexibility, but there's also enough rigidity so that it doesn't snap open. It snaps in nice and tight, and actually works. So here's another view of it in two pieces separated out. And so again, I made sure that and it took me a few minutes to figure this out, to make sure that all the dimensions, the inner and outer dimensions, the offsets are correct, to make sure this thing closes. Wire view is very helpful here. If you ever want to look through, you can see the distances. Zoom in as close as you can to the edge in question, and then use the wireframe view. And here we're printing the final part. As you can notice that there's letters there that I printed onto the cover of this particular model. And if you make them big enough, 3D printers will print them out just fine. I find that the smaller the letters, smaller font, it will be lost in the print. But this size that I made, and you'll see that in the final board here, worked out perfect. So the printer's almost done here, and we're gonna pull this thing off the hot plate here in a minute. If you've printed these things, you will notice one interesting thing about the hot plate. The PLA sticks pretty well to it. It's kind of hard to remove it, and here I am fiddling with it and trying to remove it. But if you just leave it alone for a couple minutes, let the plate cool off, like I leave it on my countertop here and I let it cool off, this thing literally slides right off, doesn't stick. But of course, the impatient person in me tries to rip this off as quickly as possible, and I eventually do. And this one's a little bit more stubborn because the full face is stuck to it with nothing to grab. But as you can see, the letters are there, the Wi-Fi and the reset and the boot buttons that I've created for this. By the way, these are little tabs there that actually click in on those two white buttons, as you can see in the video, and they do snap in. They do snap down enough to click the buttons for the reset and for the boot. So I have fixed the board quite well. As you can see, it goes in. There's a little bit of play here, so we're gonna snap it into place, and it fits perfectly. And it's also very easy to remove. I'm not showing in this video, but you can easily remove it. Obviously, you need two hands, and my camera setup is one-handed. So, and we're gonna put the top on and see if it really fits. And here comes the moment of truth. And sure enough, very snug. Just gotta press it down. Here, a couple clicks. It doesn't fall off. Perfect. And the buttons work too, so I click on the buttons and test them out, and they work pretty well. So the one last thing to do is just to make sure that it fits on top of the flipper zeros. So we're gonna put that in and snap it all the way through, and sure enough, it fits. So that is working pretty good. So I think this is like my 6th prototype that actually came to fruition. So it took a little bit of work, a little bit of measurements. So if you stuck around this long in the video, if I get 10 or 15 likes for this video, I'm not greedy, but I can post this the file for everyone to download, and you can try out your own if you have one. Or I'll try to see if I can put it up on Thingiverse or whatever the bamboo maker lab thing is, so that people can actually download and try it for themselves. It uses minimal PLA.